It's Lindsay. No. Anyway, but this is the fun and games and shenanigans, you know, behind the scenes.
You know, interestingly enough, if you watched Vendetta this past week, when we were at the, and this is off topic, but at the funeral, there's a scene between Pete and Kate that got cut out because we were 7 minutes long. And it's really a great scene between Pete and Kate.
How did it go?
Really great.
Yeah, it was really great. So I'm gonna have to get that one for my reel, and maybe it'll be in like flashback.
It'll be in the. They said that it'll be in the.
In the DVD.
The DVD outtakes, or not outtakes, but deleted scenes.
Yeah, it happens often. I mean, some great scenes that you shoot, it's like the show goes too long. You just get the scissors in and cut them. I'll take a bullet for the team.
But you know what's good is like for you guys to be here to hear this. It's because Kate says to Pete, look, you know, whatever it is that we've been doing, I'm ready to take it to the next level. Let's hit a hotel and get busy right now. Basically, was the and metaphorically, of course, but and Pete says, you know, I'm sorry, but I think I'm in love. I'm in love with Kelly, and he said, and it really shows that even though Pete is kind of a silly guy and he uses his sense of humor, he's really a good man. You know, he's a man and he's a good man, and it shows that Kate is it shows the depth of their relationship, which is
She had a great line. Right? Do you remember what you say after he says that? You said, I've never been so attracted to as I am right now.
Yes. After he professes his undying love, I'm like, it's a shame because I've never been more attracted to you ever.
And he goes, nice!
It's really nice.
So you know, what maybe, because you kind of go, well, what happened to Kate? Because we don't revisit her for the rest of the season. So for you guys to know, that's kind of where it ended. They're still good friends, and we're hoping that Kate comes back, certainly. Because and I will say right now, of all the people that I've worked with, you know, I've been doing this for 13 or 14 years now. This woman is absolutely one of the best, the absolute best. So.
Thank you so much for coming to play with you guys. Thanks for having me.
I'm down here right now, over here. Hi, okay. Got a question up here.
Actually, a quick question. I know the other co-star is not here, but I was wondering, are you guys sponsored by Twizzlers? Because it seems like Micah's character is always eating Twizzlers and just always seeing Twizzlers.
Twizzlers. Absolutely. Twizzlers gives us a bunch of money to contribute to the show. And so I'm just like, hey, give me the Twizzlers. Because I'll be like... sell a Twizzler. You know, I know people, their feathers get a little ruffled by the fact that there's product placement in the show, but, you know, because with the advent of DVR and TiVo, people just fast forward through the commercials and advertisers are losing a lot of money. So I think you're going to see, fortunately, unfortunately, I think as TV progresses here in the next few years, you won't notice it as much because it'll just be, I mean, look, in our lives, we walk around eating Twizzlers.
And isn't that a lovely backdrop behind you as well?
So yes, Twizzlers gives us money, and we just hope that it doesn't smack you in the face and take you out of the story. But yeah,
as long as it's continued to be done with some humor, then it's okay. There's a limit to it, you know. I'm sure you guys will feel it too. Once they start doing too much of it, we'll feel it. Everybody will feel it. They'll say enough. You know, we can't keep doing this to ourselves. But it's interesting what this whole product placement does. I don't know if you guys are aware. I mean, it's really. And you go, is this still America. This is what there was an actors' strike about. The actors were told by the producers that what they wanted the right to do was they wanted to excise, take out, cut out of context, anytime. So let's say I'm drinking Voss on the show. Voss is a sponsor of the show, and I've got this, and as character Artie, I'm doing this, and I'm supposed to go, oh, this is really great line, and I throw that line away. They wanted to take that out, the ability to take that out, make a commercial of it. They say they pay us $200 per 6 months, and be able to make commercials of that, be able to use it out of context. And we said no, and there was a strike partly about that. So things can start to escalate because you're told, yes, we're grateful for we're all dealing with sponsorship. We're not HBO or Showtime, which is just subscriber-based, they don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the sponsors are great. We went to Chicago, Allison and I, and met not only the sponsors of our show, but the people that sell the stuff, and they're great people. They told us our show was sold out, and we wouldn't have the jobs that we have if it weren't for the sponsors and the fact that you guys are watching the show. But I also think that there's a limit. I think the Twizzler thing is fun, and if it starts getting carried away, you'll see it start to die down. Actors will protest. You guys would protest.
Yeah, they try and use a little of the old, these are not the droids you're looking for. Move along.
Hey, listen, we'll just have Twizzlers on another show.
Yeah, exactly.
My question is for Saul, actually. In the first season of Eureka, you played kind of a crazy doctor, OCD guy, and then you did a crossover episode of Eureka where you were Artie. Was that at all weird, being a crossover of the show?
I wasn't visually in the crossover episode. I don't even think my voice was on there. I think they just referred to the character. On the crossover episode, Allison's character, Claudia, went on the show. But when we were at Comic-Con, Jamie Padilla, who's the showrunner on that show, I said to him, if we do another the crossover episodes work, and I think that you guys like that. What we should do is I pitched him the idea, and I think he liked it. I said, that character that was on that show should have been Artie undercover, trying to get him. And I just thought that was a great, don't tell anyone, okay? I'm sure you'll keep this really secret. I'd just like to go back on that show and cross over and not try to pretend that I'd like to be Artie who did that character.
Yeah, since Joanne's not here, I guess you guys can smack talk about her. I was just wondering what it's like to work with Joanne, and also if she ever does an autograph session, they should use the photos from that episode when she was the model. That's great.
I'm sorry, if she ever does an autograph session?
If she ever does an autograph session, they should use those modeling photos for her autograph photos.
Yeah.
Only for
I guess I'll start because I do most of, I'm with Joanne a lot of the time. Sure, go ahead. Joanne is great. This is kind of our relationship in one sentence. Well, it's going to be more than one sentence, but in this episode, Joanne and I were in a picture car, which is an old 1952 Studebaker convertible. We were being pulled around. It was a sunny day. We're between takes, and we were just kind of, in the sunning ourselves. And I said to Joanne, I go, Joanne, does it ever bother you that I can never take anything seriously? And she goes, sometimes I want to stab you in the eye with a pencil. She said, but if you were any other way, it just wouldn't be the same. And it's, I show up and I jump around and I'm just like, Joanne's much more grounded and it's really, there's not a whole lot of acting going on. It's basically Joanne looking at me like, are you serious? So it's great. We, look, we spend 15, 16 hours a day, 5 days a week with each other, and that's more than most families spend with one another. So, there are times when we don't necessarily like one another, but I love her and she loves me. I mean, it's a relationship. It's a family relationship, and she's great. And I wish that she would come with us more often. But she just has stuff that she has to take care of. So hopefully, we can convince her to come here next year.
This is a question to Eddie. When you did the merge episode, how much time after you got the script did you have to watch each other, or did you just wing it?
Well, again, like I said, I spend 15 hours a day, 5 days a week with Joanne. So I know her really well.
We wouldn't let him do too much.
Yeah. At the table read, man, I was just bam, 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 and I just had to keep looking in here going, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm not offending you, am I?" And she was good, but basically, I thought and the director and the writers, we all kind of thought that first scene where Pete changes and when they switch in the hall, I did her cadence, which is, "Pete, what happened?" And so pretty much that set the tone, that let you know that Pete and Micah had switched, so I didn't really have to hit it that hard.
But you had to teach her how to do the Three Stooges thing.
Oh yeah, she was like, she's from Newfoundland, which is like, I don't know where. They don't have TV there. And so she was like, "What? What am I doing? What is this?" And so I had to teach her, like, the whole thing. I thought she did a great job.
She was really good,
Yeah, great.
She's more serious than the rest of us, Joanne. Her script is covered in notes, so she takes it all very seriously.
It looks like a manifesto.
She's Micah. In many ways, she's like the character. She takes her job more seriously than the rest of us.
Well, being on the outside, I love seeing the chemistry between the two of you. It's the foil that makes it, don't you agree? Like, the levity works because of your seriousness and being sort of, the outside of that triad going, "Okay, I see, you two should get married, but they're never going to do that till season 5 when you jump the shark."
Well, I always said season 10 or 11, Micah and Pete will roll their wheelchairs into each other as kind of a mating ritual.